Sampson. So we've discussed the issues to this point where, in fact, we have an IMF program in terms of a staff level agreement. Now, the dynamics of that, let me just make it clear. We don't have a program yet. It is an understanding. It's more like a gentleman's understanding that we have our foot through the door on this, but there is a lot more that we have to do before we actually get funding, board approval and all of that, culminating the entire process. So let me find out from you, the two of you gentlemen, how optimistic are you that we're going to get an IMF program, and what are you hoping that would mean for you, the business community, as traders and as importers and exporters? I'll start with you, Sampson.
The point is, we as a country, of course, I speak for importers and exporters. I do research for import and export issues in this country. Why we fight against government policies that would make Ghana grow our own, have sufficient to feed ourselves, and have surplus for export? I strongly believe that we should be able to push for that. But as I said to you the last time, some of these policies get like your boy have just cited example, like people go to change their forest itself, and the forest producers are saying that they don't even have the city. So is it a deliberate attempt by the Bank of Ghana directing commercial banks do not give any currencies to local currencies to the forest brew again? That will end up going to the black market, so that they will, based on black market speculations, the dollar is very volatile. So we'll hold the city. If they have the dollar, they'll bring it to us, and so we'll get a dollar. Then we'll not allow it to go out to the black market again. I think it could be one of the reasons. The other aspect is that yes, if the IMF approved the facility for Ghana, I think they said there's a homegrown policy or show, and I'm sure that was one of the measures why they said they were not going to allow the Bank of Ghana to give forex to the commercial banks to give to importers to go and bring certain commodity. My fears here is that. What comes next year if our people are no more bringing it, because there's a gap, and whatever importation that comes here comes to fulfill up that gap, and that is making Ghana not running into food insecurity, and we cannot afford at this point in time. The precious mineral all over the world now is food, and we know that the crisis between the Ukraine and Russia issues. There has been the food shortages all over, and countries are put up mechanism in place to make sure that at least. I remember, I think around the COVID-19 or one of the area, the Vietnam and others were holding on to their rice export because what was the reason? The reason was to make sure that they have availability of those food to sufficient for their nationalities. And so, if government is taking the policy to make it sure that at least they cushion Ghanaians, at least they make sure that Ghana can produce more and then feed ourselves, and if there's surplus we look for. Now that we have come to African Continental Free Trade Area, that is giving us opportunity to trade among 54, 53 states among ourselves. What do we position ourselves for? So I have no problem, but some of these short-term policies, short-term measures will not be able to help. I strongly believe that we should look at into medium to long term, because if you tell me that don't bring rice and secondary schools are crying, and you say there are local producers of rice, and we don't have those local producers of rice in the secondary school to feed the secondary schools our children, and our children are crying, and teachers, headmasters are asking PTA to come in and support. Where do you go from here? I strongly believe that the government will have to really look at these policies. Yes, we agree that IMF will come, but already my industry has been hit so hard. As we speak now, you are clearing the goods at the port, you have to pay a VAT of about 15%. You remember, the VAT has moved from 12.5. If this budget, this 2023 budget is being approved now, the 12.5 will be moved from 12.5 to 15%. Then the Gov't fund is there, the health insurance is there, and then we come to do at sales. That's input tax we are paying. Then at sales, at output tax, we are going to tax us another 15% plus 2.5 Gov't fund and health insurance and COVID-19. Then the cascading effects that it will get to the final consumer. There's a cost element. When you make a claim of the input tax of 12.5, or if it becomes the 15%, there's still a difference. When you strike it, when you add 12.5, 2.5, 2.5, 1% COVID-19, it becomes like, I think, 90.2. You subtract the 12.5, there's a cost component, which we are asking government at least, can government hold it somewhere or do something with that 6%? That is the cost to the business community. So you see, these are the variables that people have to look at. That was why I raised an issue in regards to my colleagues from Gov't that they shouldn't have issued that statement in a haste way, saying that business people should reduce, because you have to look at the factors surrounding what happened and where we are now. Those who the dollar at 15 cedis, those who went and paid the duty at 13 plus, and the cargo is those goods is locked at the warehouse. They have to offload those goods. Then maybe from now for Easter importations, no one will tell, because if the dollar, and that is why we now put the government to test to see whether would they be able to hold it where we are till it will cross January, February, March. They will say, well, then the government has done good. But if you haven't studied the thing, you haven't known how the trend is going to go, then we start saying reduce your prices. And tomorrow the dollar come back to where it is. Will we come back to say this to increase the prices? I don't think we would like to do that. Yes, so far we want to appreciate government effort or what government is doing. And I'm saying that up to now, it could be a deliberate that government have decided to hold the city, say, I will hold the city rather, and see whether if the forest people will get money to do a change. Then it will compel everybody to come to the bank. So if you go to the bank, there's an interbank rate, okay? Because if I go to Alaji, if I hold my dollar, my hard dollar, and I go to Alaji doesn't have the city to give me. So I'll be compelled to go to the bank, interbank to change. So I'll go to interbank to change at the interbank rate. Then the foreign will remain in the bank. Then of course that means government is closing down black market by extension, what do you call it? Foreign group by extension to black market. So when that is collapsing,
do you suspect, Sampson, that is what is happening, especially as people are complaining that they're going to the Forex Bureau with their dollars and can't get CDs? Do you suspect that is what is happening?
I said, let Benin talk to me. You don't need the soothsayer to tell you that that's what government intends to do. Because if you are holding the Forex now, the dollar now, you hear the news that, oh, black market is about 14 cedis to the dollar. Oh, if you go to interbank, it's about 10 cedis. This one is 10 cedis, isn't it? So you go to the black market, and whether it's 13 cedis or even 12 cedis, you go to the black market, you have the dollar, they tell you, I don't have the cedis to give you. So you compare to go to the bank, because it's only the bank that you go and get the cedis. So where will you go? You go there at that lower rate. So, of course, those who are hoarding it can be another strategy to punish those who are hoarding the dollars.
Okay.
That, the appreciation by Christmas, it will go to like 20 cedis, then I'll make more money. But people are going to make the money. Those who were smart make the money, and those who are not smart will lose.